Do you ever feel like you're just, caught in a current, constantly busy, maybe a bit overwhelmed, wishing for more hours in the day?
Oh, absolutely. Like you're on that hamster wheel, just checking things off, but never really catching up.
Exactly. It's such a universal feeling, isn't it? Even though we all know intellectually we get the same 24 hours.
Hmm.
But here's the thing, and it's kind of surprising. You can't actually manage time itself.
Right. Time's like this constant flow, isn't it? A river you can't stop.
Totally. It just keeps going. So what you can manage, well, that's the events in your life, the choices you make.
Your priorities, yeah.
Yeah.
How you react to that river, how you navigate it. Think of it like money, maybe. It's valuable, definitely limited.
Oh, that's a great analogy. Limited, valuable, needs protecting, wise use, budgeting even.
Precisely. And what's fascinating from a psychological view is how often we treat time like it's infinite, until suddenly, bam, we're out of it.
Yeah, you don't value it until you feel it slipping away.
Exactly. Like health, sometimes. You only appreciate it when it's challenged. Once time's spent, it's gone forever.
So that distinction is key. It's about managing us, our actions, not time itself. Which brings us to our mission for this deep dive. Unlocking the secret to getting those hours back. And look, we're not just talking about cramming more work in.
No, definitely not.
We're aiming higher, freeing up time for the stuff that really fuels you, personal growth, well-being.
The things that actually recharge you, yeah.
Right. So we'll explore how mastering your choices, your actions, can lead to, well, more productivity, sure, but also more energy,
Right.
less stress.
More actual free time. Better relationships, even.
And ultimately just feeling better about things, a greater sense of self-worth.
That's the real payoff.
Okay, so if we want to reclaim our time, where do we even start? It sounds like maybe it's not about the latest app.
Huh? No, not usually. The foundation is really understanding yourself, and specifically how you're currently spending your time. You can't manage what you don't measure, right?
Right. Makes sense.
From a psychological angle, this self-analysis is, well, it's absolutely critical. It's like getting your vital signs checked before you start a new health plan.
Okay, so how do we do that? What's the practical step?
One of the most powerful ways, though it sounds a bit tedious maybe, is a time log.
The time log.
Yeah, for maybe a week or two if you can manage it. Just jot down what you're doing every 15 minutes or so.
15 minutes, wow.
It sounds like a lot, but the insights are usually incredibly revealing. You might think you spent an hour on email.
Uh-oh. I have a feeling I know where this is going.
Only to find it's actually closer to 3.
Yeah.
Or you see all these little interruptions adding up.
I can definitely relate. I tried something like that once, and honestly, I was shocked where the time actually went versus where I thought it went.
All right.
Totally different.
It's eye-opening for almost everyone.
So mapping out where time is currently disappearing, that's step one on the mission. Once we have that log, what questions should we ask ourselves? How do we evaluate it?
Great question. You want to look at it and ask, okay, did everything I needed to do actually get done? Which tasks took up the most time? And critically, were they worth that much time?
Worth it in terms of my goals.
Exactly. And also, when are you most productive? Are you scheduling tough tasks for your peak times or your slump times?
Good point.
And where is most of your time devoted overall? Job, family, personal stuff, recreation. Does the balance feel right to you?
So it's not just tracking, it's analyzing.
It's a time audit, really. It helps you spot the big time sinks and check if your time investment actually matches your values and goals. It builds that self-awareness muscle.
That really shifts the focus, doesn't it? It's not just about being busy, but about the quality and alignment of that time.
Precise.
And I guess that quality, that alignment, it's deeply personal. Because what works for one person?
Oh, not at all one size fits all.
Yeah.
Effective strategies really have to mesh with your personality, your self-motivation levels, your discipline.
So we need to ask ourselves some tough questions.
Yeah, you, the listener, ask yourself, what time of day do you actually work best? Morning lark, night owl. Do you tend to overestimate how long things take? Or underestimate?
I definitely underestimate.
Well, a lot of us do. Or are you busy, but maybe not as productive as you want to be? And what triggers your procrastination? What really makes you put things off? Understanding those personal quirks is key. You need to build habits that work with your unique rhythm, not against some generic template.
Okay, so we understand where our time goes. We've looked at our own patterns. The next big hurdle feels like, well, figuring out what actually matters most. How do we
Yeah.
sort through all the noise? Everything feels urgent sometimes.
That really is the crux of it. And experts generally agree on this. The most important tasks are usually not the most urgent.
Isn't that interesting? But why do we always react to the urgent stuff first?
It's human nature. Urgent things demand attention now. They scream louder. So we get pulled into this reactive mode, constantly putting out fires instead of being proactive.
Okay, so how do we fight that tendency?
This is where a fantastic tool comes in the Eisenhower matrix. Have you heard of it?
Vaguely, yeah. Boxes, right? Urgency and importance.
Exactly. It's a simple but powerful visual. It helps you categorize everything you do into 4 quadrants based on those 2 dimensions. Urgent, not urgent, and important, not important.
Right, break it down for us. How does this matrix help us reclaim time for, growth and well-being?
Okay, so quadrant is important and urgent. These are your crises, your real deadlines, your immediate problems.
Like a project due in an hour or a family emergency. Got it. High stress zone.
Definitely high stress.
Yeah.
And often things land here because they were actually quadrant 2 tasks that got neglected for too long.
Ah, okay. So what's quadrant 2?
Quadrant 2 is important but not urgent. This is the magic quadrant. This is where you gain control, reduce stress long term.
So what kind of things live here?
Think long-term goals, strategic planning, relationship building, exercise, preventative health stuff. Crucially, self-care and personal development.
The stuff we know we should do but often push off?
Precisely. By focusing here consistently, you tackle things before they become urgent crises. This is where proactivity lives, where growth happens.
Okay, love quadrant 2. What about 3?
Quadrant 3 is urgent but not important. These are the tricky ones. They demand attention now, but they don't actually move your most important goals forward.
Like interruptions, certain phone calls, other people's priorities landing on your desk.
Exactly. A lot of emails might fall here. Unexpected requests from colleagues that aren't critical for you.
Right.
The key here is often delegation or learning to say a polite no, or maybe automating something.
Gotcha. Avoid or delegate. And quadrant 3?
Quadrant 4 is not important and not urgent. These are the time wasters, distractions. Endless social media scrolling, binge watching something you don't even really like.
Bingo. Now, these aren't necessarily evil. A bit of relaxation is good. But they need to be moderated, kept in check, so they don't eat up all your time. Often, they're just an escape from doing those harder, more important quadrant 2 tasks. That distinction, important versus urgent, is so clarifying. Especially framing quadrant 2 as the place for growth and well-being, it makes me rethink my to-do list. Are we just adding tasks or prioritizing the right ones?
Exactly the right question. A prioritized to-do list, daily, weekly, whatever works, isn't about checking off the most items. It's about checking off the highest priority items, especially those Q2 activities.
And it helps you set boundaries too, maybe. Say no.
Absolutely. It gives you a framework to decide what fits and what doesn't. And here's a related idea I love, the stop doing list.
A stop doing list. Tell me more.
You intentionally identify things that waste your time and make a conscious decision to stop doing them, or at least drastically reduce them, like maybe limit checking news sites or cut out unnecessary meetings or stop the endless social media scroll after 9 p.m.
I like that. It's proactive elimination, not just organization.
It really frees up mental space and time for the things that do matter.
Speaking of focusing on what matters, there's the Pareto principle, right? The 80-20 rule. How does that fit in with reclaiming time?
Yes. The 80-20 rule suggests that often about 80% of your results come from only 20% of your efforts or activities.
80% from 20%. That seems unbalanced.
It often is. Applied to time management, it means you might be spending a huge chunk of your time, maybe 80%, on activities that only yield 20% of your desired results. Low impact stuff.
So how do we figure out what our magic 20% is?
That takes some honest reflection. Ask yourself, which tasks, which projects, which activities really move the needle for you, whether that's income, learning, happiness, fulfillment. What gives you 80% of the value?
And then what? Focus only on those.
Ideally, yes, or at least disproportionately focus your best energy there. It might mean consciously deciding to drop some less effective projects or activities. That can feel hard, like quitting.
Right. We're taught quitting is bad.
But sometimes winners do quit. They quit the things that aren't working to double down on what is. It's strategic reallocation of your energy.
Connecting that back to well-being, knowing what to let go of, is just as vital as knowing what to take on.
Okay, let's pivot to some specific strategies. Time wasters. The big one. Procrastination. Ugh. Why do we do it? How do we stop?
Procrastination, yeah. It's basically putting off a task, right? And the tricky part is it usually increases anxiety. The task feels bigger and scarier the closer the deadline gets.
Totally. So what works?
A classic is eat the big frog first. You know this one.
Tackle the worst task first thing.
Exactly. Get your most unpleasant, most overwhelming task done right at the start of your day. There's a huge psychological relief that comes with that. Gets the momentum going.
Okay, eat the frog. What if the frog feels too big to swallow?
Then try the snowball method. Break that huge task down into tiny, manageable pieces. Focus on just the first small step. Completing even a tiny part gives you a little dopamine hit, a sense of progress, which makes the next step easier.
Like building a snowball rolling downhill. Little steps build momentum.
Exactly. Instead of one giant mountain, it's a series of smaller, conquerable hills. Does the science back this up, these little behavioral tricks?
Oh, absolutely. Research shows things like making access to the next step contingent on completing the current one can really shift habits, like studies with students needing to finish practice quizzes to unlock the next module. It encourages consistency.
Interesting.
And building in little rewards for completing tasks works too. It reinforces that positive habit loop. Anything to make starting less daunting.
Great practical tips. Okay, next culprit.
Yeah.
Multitasking. We hear so much about it. Good, bad, ugly.
Mostly ugly, honestly. It's a huge myth that it saves time. Psychological research is pretty clear on this.
Really? But it feels like I'm getting more done.
It feels that way, but what you're actually doing is task switching, not true multitasking. Your brain basically has this bottleneck for focused attention.
A bottleneck.
Yeah. So every time you switch from email to a report, back to email to a message, your brain has to disengage from one context and load up a completely new one.
That sounds inefficient.
It is. It wastes mental energy, it increases the chance of errors, and ironically, the quality of your thinking on each task actually goes down. You're just rapidly switching, not deeply engaging.
Wow. Okay, so the solution is just do one thing at a time.
Pretty much. Focus. Try time blocking. Schedule specific blocks of time for specific types of work, like email hour or writing time.
Protect that time.
Yes. Or for really important work, try deep work sessions, longer stretches, maybe even a whole morning dedicated to one big project with zero distractions. And yes, that means turning off notifications.
Notifications, the gateway drug to the next big time waster. Digital distractions, our devices. They're amazing tools, but wow, they can suck you in.
They are absolute black holes for attention, aren't they? One quick check turns into an hour lost, just scrolling. It's designed that way often.
So what can we do besides throwing our phones in the river?
Maybe not that extreme. But the idea of a digital detox is powerful, a conscious break.
Like no screens for a weekend.
Could be. Or even just for evenings. Research shows it really enhances what psychologists call eudaimonic well-being.
Eudaimonic. Meaning?
Purposeful living, personal growth, feeling connected to something meaningful. Taking breaks from the digital noise helps with attention span, reduces stress, allows for actual self-reflection.
Makes sense. You're more present.
Exactly. More present in your actual life. The tricky thing with devices isn't just the time they take, but how they fracture our focus, making deep concentration feel almost impossible sometimes.
So practical tips for managing this digital deluge without becoming a total hermit.
Start small. Use the screen time limit features on your phone. They actually work if you stick to them.
Okay. Set limits.
Maybe try grayscale mode, makes the screen less appealing. Schedule tech-free times or zones in your house.
Yeah.
And definitely set a digital curfew. Shut off screens an hour or two before bed.
For better sleep.
Yes. Better sleep, better mental relaxation, let your brain actually wind down. And for email-specific check-in times, not constant monitoring. Turn off the notifications. Handle each email once if you can. Delete junk ruthlessly.
Treat your digital space like your physical space. Declutter.
Exactly. Protect your attention. Which leads us to another crucial skill. And it's a tough one for many people.
Let me guess. Saying no.
You got it. The art of saying no. Why is it so hard, but so important?
Why is it so important? It feels rude sometimes.
Because of opportunity cost. Every single time you say yes to something new, you are by definition saying no to something else.
No to. What?
No to how you could have spent that time otherwise. Maybe on your priorities, your goals, your well-being, your family, or just resting. The trap is the new request often feels urgent right there in front of you. The thing you're saying no to, that future opportunity or rest, is less tangible.
That makes sense. But why is it so hard? Is it just people-pleasing?
That's a huge part of it. fear of conflict, fear of disappointing others. But ultimately, saying yes to everything comes at the cost of your own energy, your own boundaries, your own well-being.
So how do we get better at saying no without feeling like a jerk?
One great tactic is to delay your answer. Don't give an immediate yes. Try something like, let me check my calendar bandwidth and get back to you.
Buys you time to think.
Exactly. Time to actually assess if it fits your priorities. Maybe using that Eisenhower matrix or the 80-20 rule. And think about it this way. Saying no to an external request is often a powerful yes to yourself.
A yes to my own well-being.
It's a high form of self-care. It's about protecting your energy, honoring your values. Practice it. Start small. And consciously try to dial back the people-pleasing. Remember, you're responsible for your choices, not for managing everyone else's feelings about them.
Okay. Protect the energy. Say no more often. That's powerful. So we've talked habits, mindset. What about the actual systems, the tools? I mean, I've definitely bought planners that just gathered dust.
The shiny planner syndrome. Very common. Look, the tool itself matters less than the consistency. Experts agree. Use some kind of personal planning tool.
Like a calendar app, a notebook.
Whatever works for you. Digital, paper, doesn't matter. The act of writing things down gets them out of your head, freeing up mental RAM. The key is finding one system you like and using it every single day.
Consistency is king.
Absolutely. Record stuff directly into it. Review it daily. What are today's priorities? If you use digital and paper, make sure they're synced somehow. Don't let it become just another task you ignore. It needs to be your command center.
And organization fits in here too, right? Clutter, physical or digital, must impact time.
Hugely. Disorganization is like a constant low-level drain on your time and energy. It creates mental clutter, stress. For physical stuff, that simple keep, give away, toss method works wonders.
And digitally, email inbox chaos.
Same principle. Use folders, labels, filters. Process information efficiently. Don't let your inbox become a massive, unsorted to-do list. An organized environment supports an organized mind.
Okay, systems in place. We know what to do, what not to do, how to say no. How do we actually schedule things effectively to make this happen, to achieve that mission?
Right. Scheduling isn't just for doctor's appointments. It's about intentionally blocking out time for those important things, those quadrant 2 activities we talked about.
Like scheduling time for strategic thinking or exercise.
Put it in your calendar like any other meeting. Plan your really challenging mental work for your peak energy times. Remember that time log. Use that insight.
Protect that time.
Absolutely. Guard it fiercely. And look for ways to use those little pockets of lost time, commuting, waiting in line. Can you listen to an educational podcast? Draft a quick email? Just take a few deep breaths.
Use the gaps. I like that. What about the big one? Work-life balance. How does scheduling help there?
This is crucial for well-being. You need to schedule the end of your workday too. Commit to it. Power down devices.
Easier said than done sometimes.
I know. But studies consistently show that people who truly disconnect are often more productive overall and definitely less stressed. And schedule breaks during the day too. Even 5-minute micro breaks every hour or so can significantly boost focus and prevent burnout.
It's an investment, not a waste of time.
Exactly. Investing in your brain's ability to function well.
Okay, another investment. Sometimes we can literally buy back time, right? Delegation comes to mind, but also just paying for help.
Yes, both are valid strategies. Delegation is about assigning tasks others can do to free you up for the things only you can do, your highest value work.
But it feels faster to just do it myself sometimes.
That's the classic trap. Effective delegation takes upfront effort, choosing the right person, explaining clearly, checking in, but pays off massively in the long run, and buying time.
Like hiring someone to mow the lawn or clean the house.
Precisely. If you can afford it, strategically paying for services that free up your time for personal growth, family, self-care, or your core work. That's often a very smart investment in your overall well-being and effectiveness. You're buying back your most precious resource.
Which brings us right back to the ultimate priority, doesn't it? The foundation for all of this.
Yeah.
Staying healthy, self-care, it feels like the non-negotiable piece.
It is the bedrock. You cannot manage your time effectively long-term if you're burned out, exhausted, or sick. Scheduling time to relax, to do nothing even. It's not laziness. It's essential maintenance.
So poor time management can actually make us sick.
Absolutely. Chronic stress, constant rushing, excessive screen time. It all leads to fatigue, mood issues, weakened immunity. Actively managing your digital well-being, as we discussed, has a proven positive impact. And please reward yourself. When you successfully manage your time, stick to a boundary. Finish that frog. Acknowledge it. It reduces stress, reinforces the habit.
And self-care isn't selfish.
Not at all. It's fundamental. Prioritize it daily. The better you care for yourself, the more energy, focus, and resilience you bring to everything else, your work, your relationships, your goals. It's the ultimate time multiplier, really.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground. Mindset shifts, practical tools, specific strategies. But it feels like underneath it all, there are some core skills we need to build for this to stick.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
You can think of effective time management as resting on 3 core skills, like a 3-legged stool.
Okay, what are the legs?
First is awareness. That's how you see time, how you value it, understanding it's limited, really knowing where your time goes. That self-knowledge piece.
Got it, awareness. Second.
Second is arrangement. This is the practical side, the planning, the scheduling, the organizing. Structuring your activities and goals to match your priorities, using the tools effectively.
Makes sense. Arrangement.
And the third. Third is adaptation. Life throws curveballs, right? Priorities shift, emergencies happen. Adaptation is your ability to adjust, to pivot, to be flexible when things don't go exactly according to plan without getting completely derailed.
So it's not about rigid control, but flexible navigation.
Beautifully put. Flexible navigation. Strengthening these 3 skills, awareness, arrangement, adaptation, takes ongoing effort. It's an investment in understanding yourself.
And where do we start? It feels like a lot to change at once.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Don't try to change everything at once. The consistent advice is start small. Pick just one thing from our conversation today. One strategy, one small habit.
Like maybe just tracking time for 3 days or trying the eat the frog method tomorrow.
Exactly. Master that one small change first. Each little win builds confidence and momentum for the next step.
Okay, so wrapping this up, we've taken this deep dive, and it turns out time management isn't really about time at all. It's about managing ourselves, our choices, actions, priorities in relation to time. We talked about really knowing where your time goes, that crucial first step. Then prioritizing what truly matters, using things like the Eisenhower matrix, the 80-20 rule.
Getting clear on that important versus urgent distinction.
Right. And actively conquering those time thieves, procrastination, multitasking, digital overload. Plus the power of saying no, building good systems, delegating, or buying time.
And underpinning it all, that non-negotiable foundation of health and self-care.
Absolutely. Because the goal isn't just ticking boxes, it's reclaiming hours for growth, for well-being, reducing stress, boosting happiness.
So maybe a final thought to leave folks with. If time truly is your most valuable, most limited resource, consider this. What future self are you actually investing in today with the choices you're making moment by moment? And what possibilities are you perhaps saying no to right now?
That's a powerful question to reflect on. Every moment, a choice. Okay, so here's your call to action. Pick just one strategy. Maybe it's the stop doing list for 30 minutes less social media tonight. Maybe it's 5 minutes tomorrow morning planning your top 3 priorities. Just one thing.
Try it this week. See what happens.
Observe the impact. Notice how even those small shifts can start to ripple outwards, giving you back time and energy. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Hope it was helpful.
We hope you'll join us again next time as we explore more valuable knowledge to empower your life.